The earth is in the process of transformation, a separation, such as when a cell divides. Half will remain in the third dimension, the old earth, where there is conflict and violence. The other half will ascend to the fifth dimension, the new earth, where no negativity can exist. All across the world, there are internet content creators that are sharing new information to raise your consciousness and prepare you to ascend to the new earth. Join me, Naimah Latif, every Wednesday morning, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Central Time, and we will introduce to you these voices of enlightenment. Grand Rising, and thank you for joining us on this, our first edition of Voices of Enlightenment. And we want you to be prepared, to open your mind, because as we've said, we are living in times of transformation. And all across the internet, you can hear voices that are awakening our awareness that we are one human family here having a very interesting experience on planet Earth. But our goal is to remember that we truly are one, all part of the divine energy of creation we call God, or many other names, but most certainly the source of all life. That's who we are. Well, today we are introducing you to someone who has been awakening the world to oneness with her show, Awake to Oneness. She is someone who has had a profound experience of awakening. And the transition of her children, she discovered, as many of us have, that there truly is no such thing as death, because we are the eternal life force energy, that eternal mind, that creative energy of the universe. And when we leave here, we simply return to that form of spirit. So in her profound experience, she has been not only sharing what she knows, but also reaching out to those who have had similar experiences and are ready to now share it with the world who has evolved to a state where it's time for us to grow up and grow out of fear-based, distorted belief systems and understand that we are truly one. And so as she awakens us to oneness, let us choose to expand our minds and listen today to one of the voices of enlightenment, our dear sister, Caroline Chang. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I am honored. And everything you said in the intro is so correct. We are in the midst, not at the beginning. We are in the midst of humanity's great consciousness awakening. It's a conscious, we came here, we chose to come here. And when we chose to come here, we knew when we were in spirit and we were like, okay, I'm going to go down there. I know I'm going to forget who I am. I know I'm going to forget all my past life experiences, I'm going to forget. I'm going to have to wake myself up somehow and remind myself of who I am. And so that is what we as souls said we were going to do. And we all came down with kind of a plan, but the thing I have to explain to people, we come with a soul plan, yes, but that plan, we still have free will in every now moment. So that soul plan is going to take different turns and whatnot. Sweetie, I think your mic is still on. I'm still hearing you. Okay, that's okay. All right. So we come and we remind us, we want to remember who we are. Like you said, we are all one with source, God, all that is. God is everything, and not just people, animals, the trees, the plants, the flowers. It's all divine. Everything is a divine aspect of source, God, all that is. I like the term all that is because it shows that there is no separation. Separation is an illusion. We, as humans, in our unconscious state, forget that we're one. And we want to remember. And now is the time that we're living in exciting times. It seems like if you watch the news, which I don't do, I stopped watching the news in 2001, right after 9/11. I stopped watching the news. So I don't watch it. I know, and people will say, well, if you don't watch the news, how do you know what's going on in the world? I know everything that's going on in the world because I don't watch the news. The news is designed to limit your conscious awareness. The news is designed to put you in a state of fear. And when you're in a state of fear, you can't awaken, you can't arise and consciously remember the truth if you're in a state of fear. Like you were showing that diagram of the earth splitting, and that's what's happening right now. Right now, there's the old 3D earth still here, and right on top of it is the new 5D earth. They're here together. But what's happening, especially this year of 2026, is they're going to start to divide. The one earth is going to go to a higher dimension, and the old earth is going to stay in that 3 dimension. Now, the only thing we need to know, one thing, are you living from a place of fear, or are you living from a place of love? That's it. If you're living from a place of love, you're automatically on the timeline to the 5D new earth. If you're living in a place of fear and, oh my God, the world is going crazy and blah, 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 blah. If you're living in that state, 90% of the time, you're going to stick with the old earth. Now, here's the thing. There's no judgment. It's a soul choice. It's really not even a human consciousness choice. It's your soul's choice. Your soul might say, well, I want to stay on that scary ride a little bit longer. No problem, because life is eternal. We all turn to source at some point. So, and time is not real anyway. All there is the eternal now. In spirit, there is no time. Okay. So we experience time here. But there is, and that has been proven scientifically. That there is no time. So we don't have to worry. So those that choose to live in fear and to stay with the old earth, there's no judgment. That I wanted to express, that when you're fully awake to who we are, nobody's separate from us. So whatever they're doing, they're not separate from us. I also can choose to do differently. You can choose, and it's just a choice. Love or fear. And the mainstream news is designed, and it's deliberate. It's not an accident. It's designed to keep us in a state of fear. They know that when I say they, I say the globalist elite. They know that when the masses are in a state of fear, that's the only way the globalists can control us. We are sovereign, divine beings of light. We're sovereign.
Yes, we are.
No one or nothing can control us. But Most people don't know that. They get in the state of fear and they're like, well, they have all the money, they can
Yes.
do whatever they want. No, 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 no. Only you have complete control over your life experience. No one else. And but they want you not to know that. They want you to think that I'm so little, I can't do anything. Oh, they have all the money, they can do everything. I have to bow down to them. That's what they want you to believe. They want you to stay in a state of fear. They want you to stay sick with their big pharma medicine. They don't want you to get well. They want to control. And
That's what it's about.
that's where we're at right now. That's where we're at.
We've got a common, of course, Higher Learning Network. Our dear sister Zelda, who's on Monday Morning Mindfulness, she says, fear will keep us in a place we don't want to be longer
Exactly.
than we want to be there. And that is the truth, because once you are in fear, you are paralyzed. You can't think and you feel helpless. And
Yes.
that's what we are striving to help people evolve out of. And that's why we have taken on this new thrust to bring you those voices. You can choose whatever you want to watch all
Yes.
day long on your phone, on your computer, on your TV, but you're either going to watch programs that keep you in fear and
Yes.
helplessness, or you're going to watch those programs that empower you. And that's what we're bringing you, are people who are choosing to use their platforms to empower you. And
Yes.
this is why they are voices of enlightenment. So
Yes.
we're going to take a quick break. We want to greet our global family joining us from all around the world. And when we come back, we'll talk about a very special experience
Yes.
that our dear guest has had that helps us remove that number one fear that we have that keeps people controlling us. And
Mm-hmm.
that's the fear of death.
Yes.
There's no such thing. There
No
is
such
no
thing.
death.
None at all.
None at all. And we're going to show you how we know. We'll be right back after this quick break. So stick and stay. Don't stray away. We'll be back after this greeting to our global family. So stay with us. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Здравствуйте. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, Bonjour. In Spain, Hola. In Italy, Ciao. In Egypt, Ahlan wa sahlan. In Ghana, Akwaba. In Nigeria, Peleo. In South Africa, Sawubona. In Senegal, Nangadef. In Kenya, Jambo. In Israel, Shalom. In Pakistan, Afghanistan, Palestine, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all. Join us live on the on-air radio network. Call 727-731-5192. We want to talk to you. Yes, we do want to talk to you, and we want you to talk to us too. You can call in or you can write in. You can write in your comments. We will gladly share them with our viewing audience. And one of the exciting things about being here live with Caroline Chang is that if you're hearing something you've never heard before, you get a chance to ask questions. This is a time of awakening, and we want you to awaken to the reality that there is no death. You don't have to earn eternal life. No one had to be beat to death or tortured to death in order for God to forgive you. I'm sorry, I'm stepping on some toes. I'm going to be stepping on toes all throughout this series,
Yes, yes.
because we have got to get out of fear. Fear is a control program. And as long as you live in fear, you cannot think and you cannot create. So, Caroline, tell us, what was it that motivated you to go in the direction that you did with your long running show, Awake to Oneness, and the programs you're doing now that are exposing so much of the untruths happening in
Yes.
our industries? What was it
Exposing
that
the
motivated you?
exposing the globalist elite agenda,
Ooh.
with truth. But with what you said about stepping on toes, and this just happened to me this past weekend. I mean, I went to a family event. I love my family. Matter of fact, it's Easter Sunday, and I'm going to church this Sunday. Okay, so I understand what you mean by stepping on toes, because I said this one sentence to a good friend of mine this weekend, and he shut me up quick, and I just shut my mouth. I asked this one question. I'm asking Christians. I love my Christian brothers and sisters. I love them. I want to ask you, what empire killed Yeshua, Jesus? His name was Yeshua, and that's what I call him, by his name. Yeshua was born a scene, and they're a mystic sect of the Jewish sects, religion, but they're mystics. And he came to teach us to show us who we are, because he came to show us who we are. That's what he came for. And he was killed by the Roman Empire. And then the Roman Empire, the Roman Catholic Church took his teachings and made it their own. I'm going to just say that. That is what they did. There is still some of his teachings left in the Bible that the Romans manipulated, they edited, they mistranslated deliberately. They did a lot with the scriptures, with the ancient scripture. Now, I tell people all the time, if I could read in the original language that the scriptures were written in, I would love to read the scriptures in their original language. But I know that at the Council of Nicaea, I think I'm saying that correct, in 300 and something, the Romans deliberately, the same people that killed Jesus, they took those scriptures and they rewrote it. Okay, so I mean, I know that is stepping on some toes, because as soon as I said to a friend of mine who's very Christian, who I love dearly, I said to her, have you ever thought about the fact that the Romans that killed Jesus, the Roman Catholic, all of Christianity comes from the Roman Catholic Church. I don't care what denomination you are. It all started with the Roman Catholic Church. And it's the Romans who killed Jesus. It's like, so she got so upset. So yes. So I don't mean to step on any toes for my brothers and sisters, my Christian brothers and sisters. I have nothing but love and respect for you. But I just want us to start thinking a little bit more about the history we've been fed. Okay. And that actually just came to me a few months ago. Wait a second. Roman Catholic Church, wasn't it the Romans that killed Jesus? Okay. And I know I've been saying for years, they twisted the scriptures. There is still some very good truth in there, but they did twist, because what Jesus wanted us to understand, Yeshua wanted us to know who we were. And the crucifixion was example of what we're talking about here.
Absolutely.
The crucifixion Jesus was trying to teach us that there is no death.
That is what he was teaching.
Allow himself to be killed and come back in spirit form, because he came back not with the same body, but with it It was more of a crystalline body for those that saw him when he came back. So he wants, like, there's no such thing as death. So, okay, I died, I'm back. Okay. So you have nothing to fear, you know?
Yes. And that was the message. And
That
that
was the
was the
message.
demonstration.
It was the
And
demonstration, yes.
so that lets you know that you don't have to accept oppression out
Exactly.
of fear that someone's going to kill you, because they cannot.
Yeah, exactly.
And the whole idea of him suffering for us, and he says in the book, which we're working on having the author of the book, or the channel through which the book came, Jesus, My Autobiography.
Yes, I have that book.
Yes. So he
I know
said,
Tina very well. Yes. Yes.
yes,
I met her in person.
Oh, great. Well,
Yes.
you've had her on your show, and of
I've
course,
had her, I'd had her do
looking
the
to have,
first 3 books. We did like four shows together. When I
yes,
met her here
Tina
in
Louise Spalding.
Pennsylvania.
Yes,
Yes.
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 And so the book, Jesus, My Autobiography, and of course, that's a long story
Yes.
about how she became one who channels Jesus.
Right.
But the book, of course, explains his true life story, and he explained that what he was demonstrating to his disciples is that there is no death.
Right.
And also, he said that he was not in that body as long as people think, because there's a point where your
Right.
soul will release from your body.
Right. And his consciousness was above it. He was witnessing it. He was not feeling the pain. He was witnessing it. And I know so many people who have had near-death experiences, like in car accidents. Their soul leaves the body. They can witness what's going on. They do not feel pain. Right. I mean, we looking at it, oh my God, it's the pain. It's no. Our soul, the soul will leave the body, does not feel the pain.
Yes. And that is what was happening. So the whole idea of being born in sin and being guilty and God not approving of you, all of that creates such a low vibration of shame, guilt, and fear. When you are in a low vibration, you cannot receive the inspiration from the higher mind, from the source, from God, because you're feeling like you're not worthy even of God even talk to you. And yet God speaks to everyone. So we are the creative energy of the universe. There's only one energy, and that's what we're all a part of. But when we have this incorrect belief that we are separate from God and separate from each other, then we can be manipulated. And that's what has happened with the religions that institute fear. And we've got another comment from one of our other enlightened sisters we're going to be having on shortly. Viata Robinson says, there are many teachings that say Christ left the tomb and then lived in Tibet on the east with his mother and Mary Magdalene. And that's another story that we're not allowed to know.
It was France, though.
Yes, well, he traveled. He did travel to France. He traveled, and there is a tomb of Jesus, and he did marry. He married Mary Magdalene.
Mary, and he had children,
and they had 2 children, a son and a daughter.
Okay, yes. I think Mary was even expecting when he was crucified. I think she was.
Yeah, he said she had a miscarriage, but they had 2 children, a male and a female.
Okay.
And of course, that means they're living descendants on the earth, but they can't even reveal who they are because people are so insane, they'd be persecuted. So this is the insanity of the world we live in. But this is the truth that must be revealed in these times.
Exactly.
So that people can make the right choices when it comes to how we're treating each other.
Yes.
And this whole false belief of well, God has certain chosen people and all of that is the undercurrent of the present day war that we're allowing to happen because we're believing that it's approved by God or some insanity. But all of that has to be dismantled so that we can awake to oneness, as you have said, and we can certainly be enlightened so that we can follow the real teachings of Jesus.
Exactly. Exactly, exactly. Jesus was teaching, and he had said it, and it is still in the scripture, in the Bible. He said it. You will do much more than I. He's saying, I'm no different. We're no different. What I have done, you will do, and more. So he's like, hey, we're the same.
Yes.
Jesus is our brother, and he was awakened soul. He was born to not forget and to remember. He did go through teachings as a child, and to remember. Okay, I came here to wake these people up. Okay, that's
Yes.
what I came here to do. Let them know who
That's
they truly are.
that
Yeah.
is his that was his mission, to wake
Yes.
wake us up. We're
Yes.
gonna take one more quick. We're gonna take another break, and then we'll take
Okay.
another one a little later. But we're gonna take a break, and then when we come back, and I want you to tell your story
Yes, I
about
will. I will.
your amazing experience.
Yes.
And we want you to stick and stay. Don't stray away. You gotta hear this evidence of our eternal life force energy that remains even when our bodies are no longer functioning. We're
Mhm.
always still here.
Yes, we are.
So we will be right back after this quick break. And of course, as always, you can write in your comments. We'll share them with our viewing audience, and we'll be right back. So stay with us. And we are back. You are watching the Female Solution Global broadcast, launching our new thrust as we bring you every Wednesday morning Voices of Enlightenment. And today we have joining us Caroline Chang, who has been awakening our planet with her programs, inspired by a very powerful personal experience.
Yes.
So
Yes. Well, okay.
tell us about it.
Okay. As you said earlier, both my children are now in spirit. My son transitioned in 2014, and my daughter transitioned to spirit in 2022. Now, when my son transitioned, now there is a backstory where, okay, my awakening to oneness happened long before my children passed and long before they were ill, before my son was ill. It happened in '07, and it was quantum physics that inspired my awakening to oneness. It was an awakening from the heart and the soul, not the mind. Because I know people that are coming from the mind and they don't get it. I love them, but they don't get it. When you're awakened from your heart and soul, it's an immediate knowing. I heard the sentence was the a separation is an illusion. We're all one and separate. And that was something that woke up inside of me. My soul said, yes, that's the truth. Okay. And that was what the truth that my soul was my, my humanness was looking for. And I found it in '07 through quantum physics. My son got ill in 2011, and doctors said he wasn't going to live. And even though I knew there's no death, I said, I'm not burying my son. And in 2011, I literally tried to kill myself. And I write all about that in the book that's behind me, We Touched Heaven. I have a chapter called My Miracle on 20. What's my miracle on 34th Street? It's the reason because it happened in December, and it happened at a hospital on 24th Street in Philadelphia. So I have a whole chapter, so you can read that about my experience then. But my son did not pass. He actually pulled himself off life support. It was a true medical miracle. Doctors were astonished. In 2011, he pulled himself off life support, and he stayed for 3 more years, or close to 3 years. He stayed because he knew I had a mission and it wasn't my time to go. So he stayed a little bit longer. And so he did pass in 2014. And when he passed in 2014, I was at complete peace. I knew he wasn't gone. I knew it was his time. I knew it was a soul plan that he and I had made before my birth. And I knew that he was going to still be in my life. Now, I knew I wanted to have a reading with a medium as soon as he passed in 2014, but I didn't go looking for one. Believe me, I did not. I launched my show. I had the inspiration to launch my show, Wake to Oneness Radio, 6 months after my son's passing. And I launched my show in March of 2015. And so, as doing my show, someone told me about a medium that, hey, you should have her on your show. Her name was Suzanne Giesman. And I was like, sure. And I had Suzanne on my show. When I had Suzanne, I'm like, she's an evidential medium. There's information she gets, she's getting it from your loved one, because there's no way for her to know that. So she gifted me a reading on Kyle's birthday in 2016. So he had been in spirit for 2 years, over 2 years at that time, because his birthday's in November and he passed in July. So and it was Thanksgiving Day. Every other year, every few years or so, his birthday falls right on thing. It was Thanksgiving Day. She gifted me a reading, and her spirit team, because she's also a channel, she's a medium and a channel, and she channels her spirit team called Sanaya. Sanaya told her she had to give me this reading. Okay. So it was like, because I was like, I don't want to interrupt your holiday. She's like, no, I got to do this. And what happened is my son came through. It's called electronic voice phenomena. So she was giving me a reading through Zoom, and she was recording on her end and I was recording on my end, but she was recording with a really good quality audio recorder, and I'm recording just in Zoom. But all through the reading, and it was just short, maybe 40-minute reading, she could hear a whooshing sound. Now live, I could not hear it, but she could, and she said, you will hear it on the audio. And then there's even a spot where you hear my son's voice, and she didn't pick that up during the reading. Couple of days later, I said, Suzanne, you gotta listen right in this spot. And she like, holy, because that's the first time this ever happened. It has happened. I've talked to her. I've seen her at conferences. It has happened several times since. But the first time this ever happened with her was with my son. And he wanted to let me know that, Mom, I'm not gone. You're right. And I'm going to give you as much physical evidence, because I know he's saying to me, Mom, I know you know I'm not gone, but I want you to show the world I'm not gone. And so I think you have the video of all the evidence. I have not just his voice from spirit. I have images of him from Sonia Rinaldi, who is a researcher in Brazil. It's amazing. So did you want to play the video now, or did you want to wait till later?
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can play that video right after we take the next break, because it's a
Okay.
few minutes and give you a chance.
Okay, no problem.
But this, of course, and I'm glad that you explained what people will be hearing, because one of the exciting things about Suzanne Giesman,
and not only did my son, you will hear my dog Coco, who passed. My dog Coco passed in September of 2007. And Kyle was holding Coco. And you can clearly hear Coco's bark. Yes, clearly. Yes.
And that's what makes it so powerful, is that there is energetically a way that we can capture the sounds of one who is no longer embodied but is in spirit, and that is both your son and your dog Coco. And this EVP, electronic voice phenomenon, it is something tangible that people can experience. This has the potential of just transforming everyone's concept of what happens when we leave these bodies. I mean, religion kind of gives you a hope and maybe, but then it's all tied in with the fear, heaven, hell thing. And yet, as you've explained, what really happens when we are having this earth experience, and this
Yes.
experience on earth is just one of many, many, many experiences that our life force energy has throughout the
Right.
universe. But this is a unique experience in that we forget everything.
Yes.
We forget why we came, what we wanted to explore, what we wanted to learn, other life experiences we've had. We forget all of that because that's part of the challenge. It's
Yes.
like playing, I always give the analogy of playing pin the tail on the donkey. You know, if you ever
Yes.
play
Yes.
that, they blindfold you, spin you
Yes.
around, you got this tail in your hand, you put the thumbtack on, and you got to pin it to the donkey shape on the wall. But once they
Right.
spin you around, you don't know which direction you're in, you don't know which way
Right.
to go, and you're
Yes.
walking blindly.
Yes.
And you got to try to
Exactly.
find the spot to pin the tail. Well, of course, if you lift the blindfold, that ruins the game because then you miss it.
Right.
There's no fun.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes.
So
People
the
say
fun of the
that all
game,
the time. Yes.
yes. So the fun of the
Why
game
do
is
we
not
do that?
knowing.
But we do. We
Right.
couldn't have the experience. The
Right.
only thing real in this life experience is the experience of it. Nothing else
Yes.
is real. Nothing is real. It's
Nothing
not
is
real.
real.
We live in a dream of our own creation. That is what
Yes.
it is, a dream of our own creation. And we have this dream. We forget so we can't have the experience if we remember.
Right. If you remember it,
Yes.
and uh the past life regressionist
Right.
hypnotherapist Dolores Cannon, whom
Yes.
all of
Love
us
her.
are aware of, when
Yes.
she asked the question of the spirit guides of the people that were speaking through one of her clients, she said, well, why can't we just know these
Right.
things, why we came here, and what the purpose of life is? And they told her, if you knew the answers, it wouldn't be a test, because
And
that's
not
really,
only right, and not only that, you wouldn't have the experience.
you wouldn't have the
You couldn't
experience.
have the experience of the horror. Like I said, we want to have
Yeah.
the like okay, if you go to a cinema, with 20 movies playing, and you're with a couple of friends, and some like, well, I want to go see that horror film. Like you go right at it. I want to go see that movie about puppies. I want, we having that experience, but
Right.
we wouldn't even go to the movie if we knew everything about the movie. Why go to the movie?
Right. If you
No,
already know the
if
plot and
you
everything,
already know, what you're
the
not gonna
ending,
have. You want to have that. Oh, you want to. Oh my God, you want to have that.
you
And the
want to
only way
have the
you can have
experience.
that experience is not to know.
That's it. That's it. I mean, that's
Yes,
why if somebody sees a popular movie, they might tell you a little bit, but they won't tell you the ending because then I'll spoil it. So
right.
it's the same thing. If you knew, if
If
you
you,
knew it already, you
it's
couldn't
like
have the experience. So
you
we come
couldn't
here
have it.
blindly, knowing nothing, remembering nothing, but we're experiencing, how am I going to react in this circumstance? How am I going to respond in this circumstance? And
Right,
so the whole thing is planned so that you can see how you're going to react.
right,
And the goal is to always come back to love. Can I be loving with an abusive mother? Can I be loving with an alcoholic father? Can I be loving with a spouse that cheats on me? Can I be loving with poverty and no money? And can I be loving if I'm living with people who hate me and are prejudiced against me because of the way I look? Can I
right.
still
Be
remember
loving.
the essence of my soul, which is love? Can I do that in these challenging conditions that I have chosen to have when I
Exactly.
come into the earth experience? That's what this game is.
Yes.
And if we knew it, it wouldn't be any fun.
Exactly.
So that's
Exactly.
why there's no judgment or heaven or hell. Well, there's heaven in terms of love,
There's
joy.
only heaven. All there
It's
is heaven.
only heaven. There
That's
is
all
no
there is.
hell because it's known that we didn't know. But we do get a life review, and we do
Yes.
get a chance to see how we did. It's
Yes.
like reviewing your answers to a test, and you see which ones you got wrong. And
Right.
then you say, oh, well, let me take this test again so I can get these right. So
Right.
that's what each of our life experiences are.
Exactly.
It
The
is
life review is beautiful. It's not a judgment. It's you. The
not a,
thing about the life review, I want people to understand, it is them, it's their soul reviewing the life they just left and how their actions and their words affected others. Because we are all one, now you're in spirit and you feel exactly what that person
yeah,
felt when you said that to him. Now it could
yeah,
be both. It could be, oh, you made that person's day, and you feel how wonderful that person felt because of what you just said or what you just did, or you did something not so kind to someone and it crushed them, and you feel exactly in a life review. It's all about you feeling exactly what your actions and your words did
yes,
while you were here, and then you decide, oh, I gotta go back. I gotta do better. Or you can also decide, okay, I'm gonna stay in spirit for a while and get it right, or go someplace else, another planet. There's billions of planets. Because you can also grow and learn while you're in spirit, but they say you learn quicker by coming here. So this is like one of the earth school. It's like,
yes,
yes,
yes.
yes,
This is
yes,
it.
yeah,
This is
yes.
top of the line school. This is hard.
Yeah,
So
this is a hard
when
school.
you come back, you get such a greeting and such when you but you remember that this was
Yes,
all the time that you're here, and that's why when you get through it and you see on the other side,
right,
you can have such appreciation for the difficulty and the challenge of it. But
right.
there's no harsher judge than you when it comes to reviewing the choices that you made and how you made other people feel.
Exactly.
And that's why you, of course, choose to go
Right.
back
Yes.
and see if you can do it, get a higher score next time.
Yes.
So
Yes.
so for those of us who are remembering or
Right.
being given access to information that helps us see where we're going, it's because we're nearing the end of the cycle of going back and
Yes.
forth trying to get love right. We've kind of we're
Yes.
at the stage where we've begun to master it. And
Yes.
so now we can open the door to others. And this is what we do with our programs.
Yes.
So now we're going to take one last quick break. Now, if for any technical reason I am not able to bring the
The
video
video.
up,
Yes.
I'm going to share with you your YouTube channels where people can
Yes.
go and watch it because I
That
want.
right. There's a link to the video on YouTube. Yes. So
Yeah.
hopefully you can share it. But if you can't, you can share the link because people can see that. It's a short 13-minute video of all of the physical evidence my son has given me to share with the world.
Yes, and we're grateful that he has chosen to do that because
Yeah.
that will definitely remove a lot of fear-based
Here.
thinking that keeps us stuck. And we want to get unstuck today so we can awake to oneness. We will be right back after this last break. So stick and stay. Don't stray away. We'll be back. Stay with us. And we are back. You are watching the Female Solution Global Broadcast. I'm Naimah Latif, and we are here with Caroline Chang, who has been awaking the world to oneness for a long time and has introduced many programs that are exposing, what was the name you call them, the
Globalist elite.
globalist elite, those
Yes.
people who string us like puppets to keep us from awakening and keep us in a state of fear.
Yes.
Well, I'm having a little bit of a challenge with the video, and I didn't want to disrupt the program.
Oh,
So I
no
guess what's
problem.
supposed to happen is that you're supposed to go to her channel so you can see all these other great videos she's done. So we're going
Okay.
to make sure we share that.
The
But you
link.
can describe a bit about the video in terms of one of the things that we will see with evidential medium Suzanne Giesman, and
Yes.
another one that we are looking forward to having on to explain what she does.
Yes.
Is
Yes.
that she was able to feel his presence and tell you about him. So describe that experience with Suzanne.
Sure. Now, Suzanne, like I said, Suzanne is a medium. She's an evidential medium. So when she gives a reading, she doesn't want you to give her any information, not even the name or anything. She does not want any information because she is a true evidential medium. And so with my reading, like I said, she gifted me a reading on my son's birthday, and in 2016. And the thing is, it was Thanksgiving Day, and she's also a Naya. It's a team. And Sanaya had told her before I even emailed her that I was thinking of my son. I was thinking of him because it was a week before his birthday. And even before she got that email, her team had told her, you're doing a reading for a mother whose son is in spirit on Thanksgiving. And she didn't even know who it was. But as soon as she got my email, she knew it was me, and she responded right away. Now, Suzanne is very busy, and she gets lots of emails. But as soon as I sent it, she responded right away. I'm giving you a reading on his birthday. And I said, but Suzanne, that's Thanksgiving Day. I don't want to pull you away from your family on Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. One of my favorite holidays, because it's a day just to give thanks. There's no religion wrapped around Thanksgiving. It's a day to come together with family and friends and give thanks, which I do daily, dedicated to giving thanks. So it's always, even as a child, Thanksgiving was my favorite holiday. So I have to give you this reading on that day. And I was like, okay, all right. And that's what happened in spirit to contact us. They have to lower their frequency, because where we are, this realm is very dense.
Low, very dense.
Very low vibration and very dense. And it's not easy for them to connect with us because we're in such a low realm and they're in such a high realm. It really isn't. But for him to do what he did, where he, like I said, it was the first time this ever happened with Suzanne, where he came, he was speaking, he was trying to speak through her computer directly to me. And there is a small space in that I show lots of, I share clips in that video where you can clearly hear my dog before Suzanne says, before she says he's holding a little white dog. Before she says that, you clearly hear Coco's
bark. Yes,
you hear the bark before she even says it. And then when she's saying, well, Kyle is saying that I have a mission and I'm doing it. So that's what Kyle was saying to Suzanne. Ma, you have a mission and you're doing it. In that, you can hear Kyle's voice saying, doing it. And she didn't even hear that when that happened live, you know?
But you could hear it in the recording.
Actually recommended to have this lady, Suzanne Giesman, be one of my guests. She is what they call an evidential medium. Now, when Kyle transitioned, I knew I wanted a reading with a medium. I did not go looking for a medium. I said, I want a reading, but that medium has to come to me. And she actually did come to me because she was recommended by another guest. She was a guest on my show. And a week before Kyle's birthday, I told you Kyle's birthday is November 24th. So sometimes his birthday is right on Thanksgiving Day. So in 2016, his birthday fell right on Thanksgiving Day. I had called Suzanne Giesman a week before that, and I just said, I'm thinking about Kyle a lot. She said, we're going to have a reading on his birthday. I said, but that's Thanksgiving Day. I didn't want to take her from her family. She said, she also, not only is she a medium, she is a channel. She channels her spirit guides by the name of Sanaya. It'd be great to Google her if you don't know about her. But her spirit guide had already told her that she was going to do a reading for a mom that son was in spirit before she got my call. Then when she got my call, she knew that her spirit guides had already told her she had to give me a reading on his birthday. So now this was what happened during some of that. Okay. During that, now I personally had never heard of electronic voice phenomenon. Never heard of it. Now, this is my very first reading with a medium. Never had a reading before. Never heard of electronic voice phenomena. Now she's heard of electronic voice phenomena, which is EVP, but she had never experienced. In the hundreds and hundreds, she does hundreds of readings. She had never experienced it. As soon as she invited Kyle in.
We go. And then when we really lock in the connection with him, then you ask him any questions you want. Okay. All right, so here we go. Now what's that sound all of a sudden? Do you hear it?
No.
You don't hear it?
No.
Wow, you'll hear it on the recording. It was this whooshing sound. As soon as I said, here we go, it was really distracting. You'll hear it on my audio recording. Okay. And here it comes again. You guys got to hold that down. Wow. Okay, so I don't want to be distracted by that, so cut that out. Okay. It is very distracting, though. Okay, here we go.
That's interesting. I don't hear it.
You don't hear it? Okay. Okay. All right.
So even the thing is, she didn't realize at that time what was happening because it had never happened to her before. Kyle was actually trying to communicate through her. That was that whooshing sound. Now live, I could not hear it. Of course, you hear it loud as day in the audio. I could not hear it a thing live, and it had never happened to her before, so she didn't know what was going on at that moment. Okay. The next one. Okay, now all through, we had like a 35-minute session, and it's all recorded. All through the session, you could hear the whooshing. In this particular spot, you actually could, now I've never told, now everybody knew Kyle had a heart condition, but I never told anyone exactly what caused his transition. I never told, so that she could not read that anywhere. That's information she had to get directly from Kyle, and you'll hear it in a second. And you also will hear, if you listen closely, you'll hear my dog Coco bark. Coco transitioned in the summer of 2007. Okay, listen to this one.
That's how that feels. There's a little bit of trouble breathing, and the word embolism comes up. Okay. And let's go. This feels like he's trying to show me some things that may have happened at the end. I don't normally hear embolism. They may have had some problem with clots.
Yes. Yes.
You did? Okay.
Yes.
Wait till you hear this sound. I've never heard it coming through my computer. It's a vibrational thing. And he says he's doing it. He's messing with the electronics, so you can cut it out then. We got you. Unless you want to give us some electronic voice, EVP would be awesome. Never heard that. Okay.
Oh, wow.
I heard a sound there. It might have been your laugh, but it gave me the image of a very small, white, fluffy dog. Do you have a fluffy white dog, or you've had one?
Had one. She's crossed over.
Yeah, well, he's holding her like this. And so she's fine, Mom. And so am I.
Yes. So my little dog, Coco, came through to let me know, because I really felt bad when she transitioned, because I felt like I didn't do enough. And so Coco came through, he's holding Coco. And before she mentions the dog, you can hear Coco's bark clearly. Hear Coco's bark and embolism. That was how Kyle did transition, and I never mentioned that to anyone. She couldn't read it anywhere. That came directly from Kyle. And there's one more now. In this last one, you can actually, if you hear closely, listen closely, you can actually hear Kyle's voice. And this, Kyle, you can hear Kyle's voice saying, doing it. You have to listen real close.
And just says that he knows that you would do anything to have him back, or you would even be just to be with him. But he says you still have a lot of work to do, and you're doing it. But it also feels like, I know he's saying that you feel like you're not doing enough, and he says, chill out, Mom.
Yes. So it took me a while, actually. I could hear his voice, and she actually jumped out of her skin. She sent me this audio, and I didn't listen to it for 2 days later. I listened to it, and I heard where I could hear Kyle's voice right at that spot, and I sent it back. I said, Suzanne, listen to this one spot. And she said, holy, I won't repeat it. But it had never, it was just because you could literally hear his voice. And when you listen close enough, you hear him saying, he's saying doing it. So it's just amazing. So I have physical evidence that my son is not gone, and he's still very much with me. He's the co-host of the show. He told me that, and he's very proud of the show. Yes. So.
But you
So
can hear
now,
yes, go
so
ahead.
now let me ask you, what was your son, what kind of profession was he in? Was he in any kind of IT or anything like that? Any kind of
No, he wasn't.
electronics
No,
or?
no, no. The computer whiz is me. I'm the computer
Oh,
whiz in
okay.
the family. No,
Okay.
he was a security guard, and he
Mm.
loved being a security guard.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he was a
Because,
security guard.
well,
Yeah.
he was, and now had you heard of electronic voice phenomenon
I
before?
had never even in, and I think it's in part of the video that I shared with you. There's a part in there with Susan saying, because Susan is saying, Kyle, cut it out. You know, she's trying to give a reading and he's making all this noise. And she says, Kyle, cut it out unless you want to give us some electronic voice phenomena. She says that. And when
Ah,
she said that, I
that's what
was
a voice.
clueless.
Wow.
I
Wow.
didn't know what she was talking about. I never heard of electronic voice phenomena, but she says it, and I don't know. I have the whole, I'll sing you the entire reading. It's only like 40 minutes long and 35 to 40 minutes long. But she says at some point, she says, it's him making the noise, which I can't hear live.
Mm-hmm.
It's him. And she's like, Kyle, I got you. Cut it out.
How
Unless
did
you
that
want to give
feel
us some
having her talk
EVP.
to
She
your
says
son
that.
in spirit?
And then what the funny thing is, because I don't hear any of this live. I don't hear it
Mm.
until I listen to the recording. But the funny thing is, when she says, Kyle, cut it out, he gets even louder. And that's my son. Yeah. She's like, no. He's like, no, Susan, I'm not going to cut it out. Seriously. I'll sing you the whole thing.
Oh, yes.
The audio recording that she has is the best because you can hear her audio is better than the Zoom audio. So I will, oh my God. It's
Now,
because
your-
he literally,
so
when she says, Kyle, cut it out, he gets louder. Like,
so obviously, you don't lose your personality when you transition. You're still who you are. You're still the
no,
personality that you
no.
are, even out of body.
Exactly.
And that's what's so powerful is that many
That
times
is
people
so
wonder,
Kyle.
will they? Do you just
You
lose
telling
everything
Kyle to
that you
cut?
are?
Oh my
But
goodness!
you
I
don't.
raised this child. You tell
So
Kyle not to
you
do
know what he was
something.
doing. You know, talking and everything. And see, this is why we have to stop fearing. We have to stop fearing the transition out of body. We come into a body and we leave the body. And another thing that we'll be talking about and learning as we continue this series is the fact that we plan our exit. Everyone has an exit plan. You have an entry plan and you have an exit plan. You plan how you're going to leave this body. Now, your conscious mind can't know this. Otherwise, you would be paranoid. You wouldn't be able to function. So your conscious mind does not know this, but your soul knows the exit plan. And you might have several exit points because, if this happens, then that will happen. Or if this doesn't happen, then that will happen. So you might have different exit points depending on if your soul has decided you fulfilled your mission of what you wanted to learn here. So for everybody who's grieving someone who's transitioned, even whether it's an accident or even if it was an act of violence or a long sickness, whatever it was their exit plan. How am I going to get out of this body? And how will my leaving impact the people around me? Because that's also part of it. Even sometimes wanting to have an impact on the people around you for a specific reason. Sometimes a person can choose a long illness because that will allow the people around them to develop compassion in the process of taking care of them. So they're doing it for your benefit. And I've seen that happen. So when we really understand what this life is about, we don't face it with fear. We don't get mad at God because someone died. Oh, why'd you let my loved one die? Well, how else are they going to get out of this body? This is not a forever experience. It's a very temporary experience on this planet. And it's a very intense one. But if you master it, it's so rewarding. And that's what we want people to come to, a place of mastery of the earth experience. And to master it, you must learn how to love. That's why we're all here.
Yes. And you're very right what you said. There is, we have a window of transitioning. It's not like a Pacific day, a Pacific time. Because I truly believe one of Kyle's exit points was 2011. And he's like, but wait a second. I know my mom has a mission, and if I exit now, she may not do
Achieve
her
the
mission.
mission. That happened.
He literally stayed longer, so I would be ready when he transitioned, and I was at
Yes.
complete peace when he transitioned.
Oh yes. And sometimes that is what does happen.
Yes.
Now with my husband, he had gone into the hospital, and we have someone in our community that's kind of like a, seer, someone who is
Right.
connected to the other side. And she said that what happened at that time, because he came back home and he stayed around for another year and some months. But what she saw was that was going to be his exit point. But then he changed his mind because he knew
Right.
I wasn't ready and he didn't want
Right.
it to happen that way. And once he did transition, I was fully ready, totally at peace and everything. But
Exactly.
we had things we had to finish first before he
Right.
left.
Right.
So
Right.
and of course he has since come back to me and spoken to me in spirit, and we'll have that conversation one
Right.
day.
Right.
But all of us who have experienced the reality of our loved ones still being here, we know we have to teach those who are still living in fear.
Yes.
So I want people to get a chance to see that whole video. So
Yes.
what is your YouTube channel?
My YouTube channel is Awake to the number 2. You got to make sure you put the number 2. Awake to Oneness Radio. And if you go to my channel, just type in my son's name, Kyle, in the search, and you'll find it. The search, will come up. His video will come up first. The title of it's a short video. The title of it is Kyle is Still Here. Yes.
Okay,
And maybe,
so
I don't know if you can, but maybe you could put the link. Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Okay. Awake to Oneness Radio. Yes.
yeah. So we want you all to go to this, and you can see the entire video, and it's called Kyle is Still Here.
Yes.
And this is a mind-blowing experience because you do in fact see his image appear. Now, was that something that came on the screen?
No. That was the images with Sonia Rinaldi, a different person, not Susan. With Suzanne, I got his voice. I got him talking to me, saying, "Ma," he's saying, "Doing it" is what you hear him saying. You can literally hear him saying, "Doing it." That came from Suzanne, but also I put together all of the physical evidence. Sonia Rinaldi is a researcher. And Kyle has come to her many times, and she has captured images of him. My favorite one is at the end of that video. There's an image you'll see. Sonia and I were about to do a Zoom meeting, okay? And she had a steam machine behind her. And she records everything and goes everything bit by bit by bit through the tape. Before I came onto that Zoom meeting, you can see Kyle's face in the steam clearly. Wow. That is one. Now, do you happen to have the link that they can click right on to go to the video? Because I did send. If you have that link, it's better to share that with them because they'll be able to find it easier. The link.
Well, I'm gonna post that on our YouTube channel and Facebook page. So when they go to that to watch the video, they'll be able to hit the link. Yes.
Hit the link. They can go right to the video. Yes. Yes.
That is powerful. Yes.
Well,
I thank you so much for sharing your story and perhaps opening some minds today, because this is our mission. All of us who chose to be here at this time to do this work, this is our job. And I will continue to bring to you all every Wednesday morning.
Yes.
Voices of Enlightenment, who are here to awaken you and help you prepare to transition along with the new earth.
Yes, because we're going to actually be around here a lot longer, because in 5D, we can stick a lot. And when we're in 5D, we choose our consciousness, our humanness choose, okay, I think I'm tired of this body, I want to go. So that could be 100 or 1,000 years. And 5D New Earth is heaven on earth, and we want to hang out there for a good
We
time.
can be embodied as long as you like until you get bored and
Yeah.
decide, okay, I'm ready to go.
Yeah,
And
I'm
that's
ready
how
for
many
something
of the
different.
ancients did. They would just
Yes.
simply meditate
Yes.
and release the soul from the body, which
Yes.
I've learned how to do, but I choose to keep coming back because I'm not done with my work here.
Yeah, right.
Well, thank you so much, Caroline.
Well, thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
And continue to be a voice of enlightenment. We appreciate you. And we will see you all this evening on the on-air news hour with more news that you can use and more people who've been making some waves in the news to help you know what you should be doing with your time on this planet, because your life matters too.
Yes.
We will see you tonight, and then come on back tomorrow for Master Force with Mu Shamsu. And until next time, continue to shine your light.
Always.